Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar with CMBT. My name is Emily. I'm the Senior Campaign Manager here at Birchal. And just before I introduce you to the team, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land that we're coming to you from today. Birchal is based on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and we pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Today, I am joined by Miles and Sal from CMBT. So also, as you might know them as Combat, Birchal is working with CMBT on their upcoming crowdsourced funding offer. A few of you might be a little bit unfamiliar with what crowdsourced funding is, or CSF. You might know it as equity crowdfunding. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it's a relatively new form of fundraising in Australia. It started in around 2018, and it allows startups and small businesses to raise capital from a larger number of smaller or retail investors, as well as wholesale and sophisticated investors through an online platform such as Birchal. So instead of seeking funding from traditional sources such as banks or venture capitalists, companies can turn to the general public, and that is often their communities, to raise money in exchange for equity in their business. Birchal Financial Services will be the licensed intermediary for this offer. And I do want to remind everybody who is watching today that the information and discussion in this webinar is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial advice or recommendation to invest. So I would implore you to do your own research and always consider the general CSF risk warning and off document before investing. Now, how today's session is going to run, Miles and Sal will take you through a great presentation all about CMBT, where they've come from, what they're looking to do with their capital raise, and then we'll switch to a Q&A session. So if you have a look at the bottom of your screen, you will see a Q&A bubble. So if you've got any questions during the session, please pop them in the Q&A box as we go along, and we'll endeavour to get through as many as possible during the Q&A time at the end. I'll also remind you that we are recording today's session. So if you do need to jump off early, or if you'd like to share the link with anybody, a recording will be sent around. So without further ado, I'll hand over to the team.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Emily. Guys, I'm going to take it from here. My name's Miles, and it is really, really cool to see the list of attendees on this presentation. So many names that I'm actually familiar with, which is really cool. And even more exciting to see a lot of names that I'm not familiar with. So I look forward to connecting with all of you along this journey. And now I'm going to share my screen so that we can run you through a little bit of a presentation, give you a bit of behind the scenes, behind the curtains look at something that we're very, very passionate about, which is CMBT. But before I can give you a behind the scenes look at CMBT, I need to give you a little bit of a background on the story. And it all starts with the founders, which is myself and Sel, who's also going to be presenting with me today. So Sel started as a professional rugby league player and an exercise scientist, and was also the product development manager of a highly reputable sports nutrition company that a lot of you might know, which was Body Science, for about a decade. At the same time, I was an avid mixed martial artist. I was into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, kickboxing, and I also came from being a corporate and commercial lawyer to starting my own content creation and marketing agency within the health and fitness space. I know, a bit wild. And this is basically where Sel and I cross paths. I actually started working in as the lead of marketing for Body Science, and was in that role for about 3 years. In the same time, Sel actually moved on and started a number of health and wellness businesses himself, product-focused businesses, as well as hospitality, and he grew them to great success and eventually exited from those businesses. During that time, I actually had a small martial arts club with a couple of my best mates, and Sel joined that club and somehow convinced me to wake up at 5 a.m. to open the gym every morning to train with him before his kids got up, and obviously before we got into our days, him running his businesses and me running the agency. And during this time of us wrestling, punching each other in the face and whatnot, we were able to discuss business and our common interests and passions. And it ultimately led us to combining forces, and Sel joined me in the marketing agency. This is what led to what led to Australia's foremost product development and marketing agency called Hype Group. And Sel and I ran this agency for 7 to 8 years before we sold it in 2022. But during that time, we were fortunate enough to work with some of Australia's biggest health and wellness brands. At one stage, if you walked into a sports nutrition store or health food store, chances are we worked on almost every brand that was on the shelf in that store, whether it was working with them on product development or helping them build a website, paid advertising, content creation, even assisting with warehousing and logistics, you name it, we did it. And we went as far as advising some of the biggest brands that you see in Australia today, like Chemist Warehouse, and advising some of their in-house brands. So everything from sort of startups all the way through to multinational corporations, we were involved in it. And so it gave us a really good insight into what was happening in the land of health and wellness, and obviously sports nutrition as well. But at the same time, we could see that our members, which were growing in our small martial arts gym, were all struggling with the same thing. And that was a need for a brand that looked after them, and it gave them what they were looking for. And there just wasn't a brand that fit our community in the market. And this is where we saw the gap, and what ultimately started the origin of CMBT. So Sel and I decided to create the brand. We decided to fill the gap with all of our experience and knowledge in the space. Sel started developing our first range of CMBT products, which has ultimately led to an amazing range that we have today, which I'll let Sel explain later in the presentation. But some of you guys might see someone that you're familiar with in the right-hand corner, which is Alex Volkanovski, who was the former UFC featherweight champion of the world. And he was actually someone who was a big supporter of our brand from the very start. And contrary to popular belief, we did not gift Volk any shares in the business. He actually, when he went on and had more of a successful career and became a champion and had some money, he actually bought into the company as an investment vehicle to support him in life after sport, and is actively involved behind the scenes in the business. So that's something I thought I would share, and something that I'm extremely proud of along this journey. So we've built this amazing nutrition brand. We've got this community that's growing, and it's ultimately led to us building what is now one of Australia's leading combat sports and performance centers in CMBT Training Centre, which is an amazing facility that's located on the Gold Coast. Many of the attendees on this call are actually members of this facility, and what makes this community so special. So I thank you guys for being on this call and continuing to support CMBT. And for those of you who haven't seen the facility before, it's basically a 500 square meter facility that supports people's goals in martial arts, in just increasing their physical health and well-being. We have a number of health professionals on site, being it physiotherapists, massage therapists, personal trainers, and more. And you'll often see these days some Hollywood film stars coming in, getting some training in, as well as some football teams, as well as some world champion combat sports athletes. So we're really proud in what we've created in what has become one of the HQs for the CMBT brand. So Sel and myself are the founders of the brand, and the key management, I guess, or decision makers of what happens with the business. I run the business on a day-to-day level, and Sel assists with all product development initiatives, and also is a lead as a business development manager as well. We put this slide in for those who couldn't make it on the call and wanted some further information, so they can have a look at this after the fact. So ultimately, CMBT is a culmination of experience and passion that Sel and I had to create a vehicle that provided positive contribution to our communities and ultimately the world at large. We thought that if you eat better, move more, if you're more mindful and you connect with others who dare to be great, then you have a more chance of being brave. And when you're brave, that's when you can do hard things. And when you do hard things, that's when you can unlock your true potential. And that is really the purpose behind CMBT and something that we're extremely proud of in creating this amazing company. So we're over the last few years, we've built quite a robust business model here. We've obviously got our nutritional products, which are broken down into a couple of categories. We have a convenience range, which consists of some ready-to-drink beverages as well as some protein snacks. And we also have a performance powdered range, which is better for people that are more committed to the gym or even athletes. So you'll see a range of products that Sel will introduce you to if you're not already familiar with them or a customer of the brand. We have our performance center, which, as I mentioned, is one of the leading combat sports and performance centers in Australia and continues to grow from strength to strength. We have some apparel and accessories, which just helps tie the community together and makes people feel great, ultimately leading to making them do great things. And then something that I'm really proud of, which we actually built during the days in which we had our marketing agency, which is called the Combat Strong web application. And this is a web app that you can actually download on your mobile device, which helps people basically create their own customized training programs, meal programs, and also has an educational hub filled with heaps of information to help people become informed about training, nutrition. We've got breath work videos on there. We've got mobility exercises on there. We've got everything, you name it. It is a super built out web app, which I will actually pass on a free link to everyone on this call so you guys can try it out for yourself and just get immersed in the world that is CMBT. Something that has come apart fairly recently is opportunity for product licensing. So because of our really unique and specialized formulas in all of our products, rather than other brands or businesses going and creating their own when they're not experts and that's not a core purpose of their business, they've come to us to create a range of products using our recipes and guide under strict branding and product license agreements, which has created a really cool opportunity for us to expand and just another revenue stream for our business. And we've built in as a business, a key of our business model here. And then obviously with the gym and online, we have a focus on subscription, loyalty programs, and the like. So now I'm going to pass it over to Sel, who is the mastermind behind our products, who can tell you a little bit more about our nutrition products and more.
Cool. Thanks, Millie, and thanks everyone for being on the call. As Miles said, it's great to see so many people on here that we recognize and some unfamiliar faces. I can actually see a few people there that I was training with this morning, which is probably what makes this all the more special for both of us in the aspect that the brand started as 5 to 10 people on some mats and has grown into a community of 400 in person and many, many more thousands that we connect through our nutrition products. So running through the nutrition products is often something I get asked because it's probably my key focus within the business. I came from a background in sports nutrition. It was the very first thing I did at Body Science. I was an R&D manager there, and it kind of gave me a really good understanding of how to go about building products, what people are looking for in products, and how to provide really efficacious ingredients that come together to deliver ultimate health and wellness, which is what CMBT is all about. So we source our ingredients from many different parts of the world. I handle that, and generally what I'm looking for is ingredients that are clean, ingredients that are plant-based, ingredients wherever possible that are organic, and we basically combine them and procure them all into Australia. We manufacture everything in Australia. A lot of our manufacturing literally is done from our warehouse within 5 minutes. We hold our ingredients and then we take that to specialized partners, often that we've worked with, give or take, sometimes more than 10 years. So we have great relationships, great agreements that allow us to put our products together. And forever grateful to those partners, because without them, we wouldn't be able to deliver these great products and outcomes. So once we develop the products from a recipe point of view, we own all our recipes, we own our trademarks, and we own the IP behind them. We're able to deliver a final end product. Those end products come into our warehouse. Our warehouse is in Burleigh, and then we start the process of basically sales and distribution. We have distribution partners that we'll go into in a second. We have sales partners and we have retailers that we work with. We're very fortunate with our position that we're able to work with these partners to distribute all across Australia. So what you'll see here is our product and sales channel mix. Just for the purpose, I'm sure everyone understands this, but I'll define it very quickly. E-commerce is referring to anywhere we sell to online, including cmbt.com.au. That's our primary place of where we sell our own products online. But we also sell on places like Chemist Warehouse online, Amazon online, Healthy Life, and quite a few other e-retailers, which are great partners of ours. Our distributors make up a lot of what we do in the ready-to-consume channel. So I'm sure quite a few of you would have seen our drinks or our bars in quite a few different places. These distributors allow us to distribute nationwide all across Australia. And when we also have categories within categories, so we distribute directly into mining sites with our distributors, Mine Site Nutritionals. We distribute it in WA with Perth Health, in South Australia with the Real Food distributors. So it's not uncommon to see CMBT products in places like BP, 7-Eleven. A lot of the boys actually on here are miners. They can get in their mining camps. And so it's really great that we're able to get to quite a big depth of different retailers that can help us get our products out there to the masses. Fitness vending is a new one that we've linked back up with in regards to they supply all gyms. So you'll see CMBT products rolling out in quite a lot of places like that as well. Finally, retailers, that's where we deal with direct to retailers. So rather than going through a distribution partner, we've had some relationships that are longer than 5 years old. And so with those people, we send directly from our warehouse in Burleigh direct to them. So places like EMF Gym, some nutrition warehouses, Foodworks, IGAs, we deal directly with them because we have the relationship and partnership, and it allows us to get our products direct to channel. The split below shows roughly what we sell to each channel. Next on our business model looks at the Performance Centre. As Miles alluded to, it started many, many years ago. Doesn't feel like that long ago that we were in a very small 100 square metre room, and Miles had the harebrained scheme of a big site had opened up next door. What would it look like if we took our, at the time, only 20 to 30 members and put them in a large space? We were fortunate enough to have the foresight to believe in the brand and believe in the community that we were building. And for that reason, it was great, because what started as 30 grew to 60, 60 grew to 120, and now we're over about 400 members strong. It doesn't act just as, obviously, a martial arts centre. It acts as a performance centre. It acts as our HQ. We have our flagship store, CMBT store, in the retail space, which anyone can come and grab any limited edition type of CMBT range from there. We have different merch that's exclusive to there. It combines our communities from multiple different places. So we have people traveling in from overseas to come in, visit, get specific CMBT advice from physios, massage therapists, exercise scientists, physiologists, you name it, we have it there. So we use that as a lot of our testing site. But within that, it's great because we have a recurring model where obviously members are on subscription. We have a shop that sells product directly. If people live within the region, they can purchase stuff online and come and pick it up directly, because some people still love to touch and feel whatever they're purchasing. And it's a great way to introduce young members into our community. My kids train there, their friends train there. We've created an all-in-one, basically wellness centre that we're really proud of. And as Miles said, we're there from 5 a.m. each morning.
Sellers, but I'm no longer a part of the 5 a.m. crew anymore. But Sellers kept that tradition running strong, and yeah, I get in there in the afternoon. But it's an amazing facility with an amazing community. But the reality is that CMBT really has just gone from strength to strength. But over the last 5 years, there really has been only a couple of focuses of ours with this business, and the first has been getting product to market fit. We really feel as though we've achieved that now. And the second thing was building the right infrastructure, processes, systems, securing the right supply chain, connecting with the right manufacturing partners, and ultimately making ourselves feel confident that when it's the right time, we can accelerate our growth and really scale to the levels that we believe CMBT deserves to accelerate to. All while happening with things like COVID, as we've all been through, and going through hundreds of product iterations. We've still managed to double the growth rate of what the market is doing at the time. So that does also give us quite a lot of confidence that the decisions that we are making are the right ones. And we really do feel as though we are ready to accelerate that growth. And that is ultimately the motivation behind wanting to do this raise and why we're on this call. So I'm really excited to take this next journey and this next chapter of what CMBT looks like, because I think it's going to absolutely blow the roof off what we've seen to date. But ultimately, the hard work, to a sense, has been done, and now it's time to take it to another level. But the other thing that excites us a lot about this opportunity is just simply the ginormous market size. I mean, we're looking at an $8.47 trillion global wellness market, which has really been driven by people looking for a focused, sustainable, and integrated solutions to help their health and wellness. And this is ultimately why we feel CMBT is perfectly placed with our broad market coverage and diverse offering. A couple of ranges of ours that we're particularly excited about, as Sel mentioned, is our convenience range, our better for you convenience range with our ready to drink beverages, and also our protein bars and snacks. And you can see that they make up a large portion of the overall market size as well. So there's some really exciting opportunities with the market that continues to grow at an exponential rate, and we're growing alongside it. So there's a few opportunities we see here. And the thing is we're zigging when other people choose to zag, or the opposite, whichever way you say that saying. But this comes from basically our experience in the market, and we're not following anyone else. We've been through it with many other brands. And we've been behind the scenes of many brands, and we're not following anyone. We're choosing to push our own course, and we're benefiting as a result. We're happy the fact that we're in a market that is continuing to grow. And if you guys haven't, if you're not familiar with CAGR, or compounded annual growth rate, that just basically means that if we're looking at sustainable and fitness and wellness brands growing at almost a 10% CAGR, that means that over the next 10 years, that market is going to grow by 100%. So we're seeing really positive and healthy indications about the market that we're in, and we're growing at a faster rate than the market is growing. And a reason for that is some of the decisions we're making. Plant-based is the fastest growing category within the sports nutrition category at the moment. And this is a large reason of, not the only, but a large reason as to why we've chosen to make all of our products plant-based. And I think that you'll see some enormous growth in this sector, and we're going to be at the forefront of it, essentially. As Sel sort of like started to allude to, we've got some really amazing opportunities, which are all part of our strategic growth plan. And again, this is why I said that we're zigging instead of zagging. we've built a really strong alignment in the military and first responders sectors. One of the shareholders of CMBT was a veteran, or is a veteran, former serving. And so we actually have some great alignments with some partners within that sector, and we are building a large opportunity within that sector. We're partnered with Australian Defence Apparel and LE Gear, which are some of the largest suppliers into the Australian Defence Force and first responders space, and they are helping us in distributing our products to various bases and things like that. So that's a really exciting partnership and channel opportunity for us. Another one, as Sel alluded to, was the mining opportunity. So we do have a distributor within the mining space, which is MineSight Nutritionals, and they've done an incredible job so far to get coverage of the CMBT brand in bases all the way from Queensland to WA to the Northern Territory, and we're in a number of huge camps over there. A number of the guys that are actually attendees on this call have picked up and sent me photos of our CMBT products in various camps, which is always a really exciting thing to see. And we see that as a huge opportunity for our brand to grow as well, something that not many other brands have been able to have the privilege of growing into, I guess. The other one is majors. Now, we've been invited to pitch at the majors ranging reviews, which is some of the brands like Woolworths and Coles and Chemist Warehouse that you guys are all familiar with. We do have some close alignments with all of these major chains. And now we feel as though we have everything ready and aligned and the right margins and everything to have some healthy pitches to these majors. So that's something that we're going to be focusing some attention on, as well as our international opportunities. So a lot of you might not know that we have a distributor in Singapore, which is called Simply Active, and they're doing a great job to get coverage of the brand in the Asian region. A fun fact is that the Google HQ at Singapore enjoy our protein bars, and that's always fun to see, and they're doing a great job in getting the brand out there. We also have some amazing opportunities in Indonesia, and particularly Bali, with a booming health and fitness scene there at the moment. And we have some really close ties to partners in the US. So some really great international opportunities there that we intend to explore in the very near foreseeable future. As always, to make all of these things happen, we need to focus on our brand and continuing to put a lot of effort, attention, resources into getting our brand out there, ensuring that people see us as a leader in the space, see us as a trusted supplier and an authority in the space. And with all of these things helps us with volume ordering, which is only going to help increase our margins with lowering our cost of goods. So that's always going to help for our bottom line as well. Now, in order to make this all happen, this is what we're looking to achieve with this crowdfund. And in order to keep up with the current demand and also keep us ahead, we are dedicating 65% of the funds that we raise to increasing our sales. And the rest of the funds are essentially there to support those sales efforts as well. So as I've sort of briefly presented, we have some incredible opportunities that can significantly increase or accelerate the growth of the business, but essentially only if we have enough product in our warehouse that we can actually sell. And this is why I'm really excited to welcome you all on this ride and also invite you on this journey to join us on this journey in creating a braver world through health and connection. And now I would like to invite you all to hit us with some Q&A, and we'll try our best to answer any questions that you guys have. Thanks, Emily. I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. That was brilliant. You guys speak very well.
We rambled.
Nah.
Hopefully we got it across.
It was so great. So currently, from a profit standpoint, what are your margins looking like?
Sal, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so because of our blended margin mix, we play in the e-com space, and we also play in distributors as well as the retailers that we alluded to before. So right now, our blended margin roughly sits about 50 to 55%, depending on product range. Ready-to-consume products are obviously lower margin, but much higher volume. In all honesty, we're seeing a massive growth in the ready-to-consume. So whilst that margin, I would say, will come down over the next year, we expect to see significant more volume and revenue due to just being everywhere from BPs to IGAs to United Petroleums. We're seeing really good growth in those channels.
Brilliant. Thank you. I know that you touched on your expansion points into other markets. Why have you chosen those versus other locations?
Yeah, it's a good question. A couple of reasons. One is because of our existing network and trusted partners that we've worked with in the past. So that's always going to help direct our energy and focus. The second is obviously we're talking about products that are highly regulated in certain markets, and also regulations that are different to ours in different markets. So when we look at places like Singapore and Indonesia, their regulations aren't so dissimilar to ours. There isn't as much effort or expense having to be put into relabeling, reformulating, any of those kinds of things with our food products. And so they're easier market entry options. Whereas when we start looking at places or markets like the US, there are opportunities for us to introduce the brand to market without having to go through the rigmarole of a lot of going through a lot of these FDA processes. But it's not going to get to scale without us going through some different regulation hurdles and relabeling and packaging things, which we're fully across. So we're looking at the low-hanging fruit options to begin with, and then obviously to the greater opportunities thereafter.
That's really interesting. Something I hadn't considered was different regulations in different countries. Makes a lot.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Are you going to be offering investor rewards in this round?
Yeah. I'll be able to take that one. So the rewards are very exciting. Something we're really keen to get out, but it's based around 3 different things. Everyone gets a shareholder certificate, which is great. There's different tiers on product packs. So based on where you come in, we'll determine what type of CMBT product pack that you get, from bars to drinks to powders to shakers within those product packs as you tier up. Then we have a lifetime discount that will be going across the different tiers as well, including lifetime discount to the gym, which I know a lot of people are excited about. And then finally, for the investors that invest at a higher value, there's a limited edition medallion that's made from actual gold and platinum, depending where you come in those ranges. That's a CMBT one-off. It comes in a velvet box. So yeah, very keen to get them out. There is one prize that we're trying to keep up our sleeve for the very large investors that will keep just until the offer opens.
Yep.
Brilliant. I think this one's a question for me. So how does crowdfunding work from an investor perspective, and is there a predicted ROI, so return on investment? So from a crowdfunding perspective, you do invest in the company, you will receive fully paid ordinary shares. So you'll get a share certificate with shares in the company. Essentially, it's very difficult to predict a return on investment for an early stage company at this point. So you should consider it as a medium to long-term investment. So generally speaking, companies that raise through crowdsource funding are either publicly unlisted or privately listed companies. So your shares are considered illiquid, as they're not going to be able to be traded on a platform such as the ASX, for example. So because these are early stage or rapidly growing ventures, there's usually a few years ahead of them so that they can grow on the business and execute their strategies. And that's generally what the investment will be spent on. So there's a few ways or events that you might be able to make a return on your investment. So that could be if the company undertakes an IPO and lists on a securities exchange like the ASX. They might undertake an exit event. For example, that could be a sale of the company. So another company might purchase the company. You could transfer your shares to a third party where a share price is agreed with that third party. The company might declare dividends. The company might organise a share buyback scheme. So they would buy shares back from shareholders. The company would participate in a third party trading facility. The list goes on. But essentially, the best way to look at it for now is a medium to long-term investment. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Also, in terms of the data that you are collecting from your customers, members, those kinds of things, how do you ensure that that data is kept secure?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we use platforms like, say, for example, Klaviyo and Pushpress for our gym member information, which obviously has to follow strict guidelines when it comes to privacy and ensuring the safety of customers' information. No information is obviously shared outside of those software systems. And yeah, we feel pretty confident that those are nice and safe. So our customers' records are held nice and safe.
Great. Are you relying on any partners or for example, any trade, what's the word I'm looking for? So any stockists for your growth plans, and what happens if they were to pull out?
Yeah, I can handle that one. So we're fairly fortunate that due to, I guess, our experience in the industry for quite a significant period of time, we've been able to build multi-layer partners. So you may remember on the slides, we had quite a few distributors. Those distributors, some are specialists to states, some are nationwide distributors, some are specialists to categories, but we also have quite a few that fall into that realm as well. As Miles mentioned, we are starting to talk to majors, but by no means do we rely on a major supermarket to keep our revenue growing, as you saw within the chart with the 20% year-on-year growth has been something that we've managed to do without a reliance on majors. We've been there with other businesses. We understand that it is important to diversify the risk, which is probably why you see the product range look the way it does, where when e-commerce may be suffering a bit for some unknown reason, then we've also got the ready-to-consume range that will be working quite well in petrol, convenience, medium chain franchises, gyms, and the likes of that type of stuff. If nutrition was slightly down, we've got the web app and the gym model to keep members coming through and purchasing directly from us in our own retail center. So we understand that we need multi-layers to ensure that the business can stay on track. And yeah, we all know that it's a tough market, but we've done pretty well to diversify our risks around any of those issues.
Because your business is so multifaceted, do you have any competitors in a similar position?
Do you want me to answer that, or you, Sally? Yeah.
You go.
To be honest, not many. And especially when we talk about specifically plant nutrition, focused on performance, as well as having a large gym community as well. So this is where we really feel like we have quite a strong point of difference, and we really are a unique brand in this market, and we have so much value driven by this community and by this purpose. We really see a clear lane that we can attack and own. I'm sure people will come after us and follow our lead, but at this moment we see an opportunity to attack and really get ahead of the market.
Do you see any problems arising with the defensibility of your IP?
Yeah, I can speak to that. I guess the beauty of what we have is we own all our recipes for all the products, be it you pick a drink, you pick a bar, you pick a protein powder, whatever may have you, we own all the recipes for those. Very lucky that I came from a background in product development and nutritional development. Unfortunately, with a lot of other, be it sports nutrition brands, the contract manufacturer actually is usually the one that owns the recipe And if you were to leave the said contract manufacturer, you actually don't walk away with your IP intact. All our IP is owned by us. Trademarks are owned by us. And a lot of people ask about patents and the likes of that type of stuff. That is quite difficult to do in the space of sports nutrition because it's usually around processes and methods. The best thing you possibly can do is own all your intellectual property around recipes and methods, which we are fortunate enough to do. So there isn't actually anyone that could go out and repeat our exact formula.
Mm. And to also further on to Sel's points, we do have trademarks registered in the US as well for people who are interested.
Brilliant. So in terms of communicating with your investors moving forward, and if they were to have ideas or want to get involved in the business in any way, how do you intend on working that in post-raise?
Yeah, we have a dedicated email to field any questions. It's investors@cmbt.com.au. And I've been fielding some awesome discussions through email. And we've been also, anyone that's on our EOI list, we've been sending regular communications via email and SMS as well, especially when there's any important things of note, such as this webinar and anything else coming up. So we'll keep you guys up to date with all the activity on this raise. If you are part of that list, if you are not, please go and register your interest on the Birchal platform so that you can drop into our email list and so that we can communicate with you. But as I said, if you want some direct communication, Sel and I are fielding emails via the investors@cmbt.com.au email.
Awesome. So as founders, what have been some of your proudest moments or collaborations to date?
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go, Sel?
Oh, you go first, man. I'll jump on the back of you.
Cool. There's probably many. I think one that I mentioned was the first one, which was that someone who I looked up to as not only one of the greatest athletes of all time, but just a great human, which was Alex Volkanovski, was our very first athlete for the brand. He came on board before we even had a product and before he was a champion. And the fact that he was so pumped on where we were going as a business and everything that he would put his own funds into supporting our business was clearly a proud moment for me. And I'm excited about all of the people who have now supported us along this journey. We have some of the most amazing specialist partners, health and wellness professionals that you could ever imagine, some of the most brilliant minds who have supported us along this journey. And so I think one of the proudest things for me is that we've built this brand that has attracted such amazing people. And then the second thing is watching the impact of our community directly. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable to see a product come to life, something that you've created from a vision and now you have in your hands. But one of the most amazing things is to see the physical, emotional, spiritual impact that, say, for example, something like our performance facility has on our members, and all the way from seeing children grow through to adults achieving their goals and just kicking goals in life is literally the most fulfilling thing ever. And it's really why we do what we do. So those are some of the prouder little moments along the way that keep feeding me and keep making me excited to wake up every day, to be honest. What about you, Sally?
Nice, man. Mine's always, everyone knows that I'm big on family, and I never thought when going in at 5 a.m. that to see Miles for the first time and not knowing anything about martial arts or community or just training as much, that being able to see my family and my kids come through the gym and even take our products, where my son takes heaps of hydrate all the time to soccer. He takes our bars to share with his friends. They're so happy and in love with the brand that he even compares me, which is crazy, to Logan Paul and KSI with Prime. And I sit there going, clearly I'm not anywhere in that realm, but the fact that the kids love our products just as much as my mum goes down to the store even to support us, into her local IGA to buy our bars, and genuinely loves them, just shows that I feel the brand evolved from what I probably never could have imagined, that my 6-year-old could care about it just as much as my mum that's about to turn 70, and they can all come and be part of one community together. So it's something that every time I get those moments with all my family members, let alone our larger family of CMBT, that we get to share this journey with 400 plus, as we said, and hopefully another few hundred plus that can join us in the Birchal raise and join the family. That's, like Miles said, it's the stuff that gets you up in the morning and keeps me fueled.
Amazing. Are there any other sporting arenas that you are looking to go down the route of? So in terms of sponsorship opportunities or just marketing opportunities?
Yeah, you name it. We have quite a lot of partners. So we are partnered with the Tweed Seagulls Rugby League Club, which is Sel's former team before he went into the Titans and the Roosters as well, I think, Sel. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on that one. We work with a number of basketball teams. We work with other rugby league clubs. Contact sports seem to really be attracted to our brand, as well as quite a lot of Olympians, which is really cool. Obviously, our powdered products are banned substance tested, so they feel confident that they can take those products. And then also partnerships like Gridiron Australia, we've worked with for a couple of years, and just like you name it, we're entering quite a lot of really cool partnerships and collaborations with different sporting spaces, but also health professionals and other professionals as well. So we're not only focused just in the sporting realm, where we're focused on performance in everyday life as well, and just supporting people being the best versions of themselves, and whatever that looks like through supporting podcasts and all sorts of things like that as well. So yeah.
I'll just, and to add to Miles, is a big recent passion of ours has been supporting veterans and our work with Veteran Games and Heston Russell and the crew there. That's been something really cool to see, including things like Land Forces, which is on actually tomorrow. And whilst they are not categorized as sports per se, and I know people refer to us as a sports nutrition brand, and we have a performance center, those guys that go through what they have over their life to support us, to keep us safe, to protect our larger community is something that we feel really passionate about. So we're doing a lot in that space and really trying to grow awareness of the mental health in that space, the importance of community in that space, the importance of nutrition for overall well-being in that whole space as well.
Brilliant, thank you. What inspires you to create any new products or any new partnerships that you have coming up?
What inspires you to... You go first about the products.
Oh, cool. Yeah, with the products, I think for us, and in particular, what I'm looking at is something that someone can take every day and it becomes a ritual in their life. I think we all are creatures of habit. A lot of us naturally wake up. Some of us train, some of us don't. Some of us want coffee first thing in the morning. Some of us want to do things that get us motivated to achieve the next level of life. And that's something me and Miles have really been about from the very first time we met, that we just wanted to uplift everyone around us, along with also advancing ourselves personally. So we don't put out anything that we wouldn't take ourselves. I find it extremely hard, being a busy person, to have to grab multiple things. So when I'm thinking of a product, I think, how can it be an all-in-one in regards to, if I'm taking something for the hydration, I'm probably caring about muscle recovery. I'm probably caring about what vitamins and minerals I'm able to get at the same time. I'm obviously concerned about hydration. I don't want to cover having to grab multiple things. So how can I take one thing to be set for the day in regards to that aspect? no different to recovery, no different to performance, and everything around that. So we tend to try to make life easy for everyone and make ritual-based products.
Yeah, I guess that's where Cell's genius comes in being able to identify all the different ingredients that will work synergistically, I guess, to deliver one sort of outcome. But the beauty of our products, which I like to talk about, is the fact that each of our products do have a key outcome, but then also have a multitude of additional benefits that help bridge nutritional gaps. And that's something that I have become really passionate about. I've been involved in the health and fitness space for well over a decade now. My partner is involved in the health and wellness space. She's a pharmacist. And so like our household is very dedicated around, current trends, what's going on, health and fitness, things like that. And also just looking at the world in general. And I'm one of those people who are crazy enough to think that we can make an impact on the world. And I guess that's what we are doing with CMBT. And I'm confident that we will do that. And when you actually see what's happening in the world and you're seeing the fact that only 1 in 4 adults are consuming enough sort of fruit and vegetable in their diet, and there's so many illnesses and diseases that are popping up and increasing, and obesity and all these sorts of things. We need to be at the forefront and leaders of educating people and motivating them, inspiring them to have a different outlook in how they live their lives and think about the future. And it's all about providing the tools and resources for people to be able to do that conveniently, like Cell said. And my big one is just about bridging the nutritional gaps that, I personally and my community don't get in their average diet. So making it fun, making it tasty, and making it part of your routine.
Do you intend on expanding your gym locations in the future?
Yeah. Yes. The quick answer is yes. The also quick answer is we wouldn't do it exactly the way that it is currently done. That would be our HQ, but we see many different business models where we expand the CMBT training center in different ways. And also we have many opportunities for licensing where we work with existing gyms to become their brand partner. And we see that as an amazing opportunity for accelerated growth, as well as owning our own future spaces in different states and territories as well.
Brilliant. So obviously you're raising funds to grow and expand. Why did you decide to go down the equity crowdfunding route versus traditional funding?
Happy for me to answer that, Sel? So I think one of the biggest things is, as we've been explaining throughout this whole presentation, our community is super strong, and it's what's made CMBT what it is today. That is the reality. Our community is absolutely everything. We've just had the experience to create some sort of vehicle that has allowed them to connect to it and feel great about the mission and get behind it. And our community is really behind our mission. This is just when we're weighing up opportunities to generate capital for the business, we've bootstrapped it and worked with our shareholders all the way till this point. We see an awesome opportunity to invite members of our community who care about this brand, know and have seen behind the curtains how hard Cell and I work and what we do to get this business to where it is. They believe in us, they believe in the brand, and they want to be a part of it. And what better way to invite them to be part of the growth and be part of the success that we are planning to have in this sort of way. So that is the reason why I chose to go down this route. And it's proved to be a great exercise so far, and only brought our community closer together again, which has been awesome.
Brilliant. I think we've gone through all of the questions today, but if anybody has forgotten any questions and you do want to reach out to the team, you're most welcome to reach out to them via their Birchal profile. I'll just pop the link in the chat box. As well, if you haven't already registered your interest, I would definitely recommend you do so that you do know when any announcements are happening and when the offer will go live, so you can invest if you'd like to as well. So please head to the Birchal profile if you would like to register your interest. Also, if you've got any questions around equity crowdfunding at all, please head to the Birchal website as well. There is a chat function, or you can email us at support@birchal.com. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody for joining us today. We really appreciate it. If you do want to rewatch anything today, we will be sending around a recording. But thank you as well to Miles and Sal for all your time today and such a great presentation. I'm really, really looking forward to your offer going live.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much to everyone who sat through it. I really appreciate your interest in being involved. And yeah, I'm looking forward to connecting with whoever gets on board and joins us for the journey.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.